7:30 p.m. How would the 2017 NFL Draft have looked if teams knew then what they know now? How long would Deshaun Watson last? Would the Bears still pick Mitchell Trubisky to be their quarterback of the future? How early would Marshawn Lattimore go? With the regular in the rearview mirror, our panel of NFL insiders took a at redrafting the first 5 picks of last year's draft class. The panel included Matt Bowen, Mike Sando, Aaron Schatz, Kevin Seifert and Field Yates. As a reminder, the actual top 5 of last year's draft went as follows. 1. Browns, Myles Garrett, Texas A. 49ers, Solomon Thomas, Stanford 4. Jaguars, Leonard Fournette, RB, LSU 5. Jaguars, Corey Davis, WR, Western Michigan. Note: for the purpose of this redraft, we reverted to the original 2017 draft order, before Chicago traded up to take Trubisky at No. 2. Cleveland held the first pick, followed by San Francisco, Chicago, Jacksonville and Tennessee. 1. Cleveland Browns, QB Deshaun Watson Finn, April 26 to 28. Where? Arlington, Texas. NFL Draft homepage. Draft order: Mel Kiper's Mock Draft 1.0, Todd McShay's Mock Draft 1.0, which NFL teams could draft a QB. Kiper's Big Board, McShay's Top 32, 2018 Draft QB Class Primer, underclassmen who have declared. Bowen, defensive end Myles Garrett has the traits to become a star pass rusher in the league, but Cleveland's inability to hit on the quarterback position has consistently hindered the development of the entire franchise. That's why I'm going with Watson here. From the high-level intangibles he brings onto the field to the dual-threat talent with which he attacks opposing defenses, Watson is a perfect fit for today's NFL game and an answer to Cleveland's long search for a leader at the position. If we look back at Watson's tape from 2017, and his 19 touchdowns in 7 games before injuring his knee in practice, his ability to run a modern offense pairs with Hugh Jackson's philosophy. It's the movement passes, the quick game, the shot throws off play action and the RPOs, run-pass option, with some QB runs sprinkled in. Play fast, open up throwing windows and use movement to dictate tempo from an offensive perspective. With Watson in the mix, the Browns would most likely not be picking number 1 overall again in the 2018 draft, and they also wouldn't have added the No. 4 overall pick, which the Texans gave up last year in trading up for Watson. If Cleveland had solidified its QB position last April, the Browns could have focused on building a winning culture around Watson, Josh Gordon and a solid offensive front this offseason. Instead, they're still looking for their quarterback of the future. 2. San Francisco 49ers, Myles Garrett Sando. Knowing the 49ers were able to land Jimmy Garoppolo from New England for a second-round choice made it easier, more defensible, at least, to bypass a quarterback in this redraft. It's not just me saying they might be able to find a QB another way. We all know they did exactly that, even though they could not have known how things would shake out when they traded back from the 2nd overall spot on day 1 of the 2017 draft. Garrett was one of the most talented players in the class. Selecting him did not require much justification. He was there, I took him. Alvin Kamara and Marshawn Lattimore were the other players from the draft who stood out in my mind as alternatives. The 49ers already have a good running back, and they're running a system that has succeeded in the past with quite a few backs with varied pedigrees. Lattimore's injury history was still a slight concern in my mind, even though he played more games than Garrett did this past. The Bears traded up a spot to draft Mitchell Trubisky in 2017. Bill Stryker, USA Today Sports 3. Chicago Bears, QB Mitchell Trubisky. Yates, quarterback play is the function of player ability, coaching and circumstances. Immediate success is not entirely uncommon. Dak Prescott was an MVP candidate as a rookie in 2016, but it should also not be the barometer to measure a quarterback after just 1 in the NFL. After all, Chicago drafted Trubisky with the intention of redshirting him, a plan that went askew due to the performance of Mike Glennon. When reviewing Trubisky's rookie campaign, particularly when bypassing other players such as Lattimore with this pick, it's important to analyze beyond what the numbers, 2,193 yards for 7 touchdowns and 7 interceptions with a 59.4% completion percentage, tell us about him. Trubisky played within an offense whose top wide receiver for much of his time as the starter was either Dontrell Inman, cast off from Los Angeles for a late conditional draft pick, or Kendall Wright, who inked a 1-year deal after not meeting expectations in Tennessee. When the Bears hired Matt Nagy as their new head coach this offseason, a prevailing narrative was that the team aspires to recreate a Sean McVay-Jared Goff dynamic with Nagy and Trubisky. That isn't a certainty to happen given how expediently McVay and Goff found success, but if the Bears passed on Trubisky in this spot, the team would have had, and still have, a massive quarterback quandary. Banking on player development via a strong coaching staff that would be in place for Trubisky's second year plus the undeniable talent he brings to the table, he remains the pick at No. 3 overall. 4. Jacksonville Jaguars, QB Patrick Mahomes Aishat. After a 10-6 playoff, I'm sure the Jaguars still feel good about their selection of Leonard Fournette. But I'm a strong believer that you don't take a running back this high in the draft, especially one who won't even average 4 yards per carry as a rookie. Mara was the best rookie running back, but he doesn't really fit the power style the Jaguars want from the lead back, so he wouldn't make sense here, either. All eyes will be on Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield, but the rest of the roster is solid, too. Kipper, McShay, and our NFL draft experts break down the best and most intriguing prospects at the Senior Bowl, and those who could rise. The Jaguars' playoff run has come to an end. Can the same be said about Blake Bortles' tenure in Jacksonville? Our insiders predict what might be next. Kirk Cousins could be the rare high-level QB to hit the open market. Le'Veon Bell has said he's prepared to sit if he's hit with a franchise tag again. Jimmy Graham could be due for a change of scenery. Here are the best players with expiring contracts. The Jaguars are so imbalanced that it seems absurd to suggest they needed a defensive player with a number 4 pick. Lattimore or Tre'Davious White would be fantastic additions to most teams, but Jacksonville already has 2 outstanding outside corners, Jalen Ramsey and A.J. Bowie, and a reasonable nickelback, Aaron Colvin. No, the Jaguars need to be honest with themselves about their need at the most important position in the game, quarterback. Yes, Blake Bortles ranked 12th in ESPN's total QBR metric but that was his best career finish by far, and the positive performance was grouped into a handful of games. Overall, Bortles was the least consistent quarterback in the league. He has 4 years of experience now. It's probably never going to get better than this. The Jaguars need to find a quarterback who can carry the team even on days the defense doesn't have a stellar performance. And a team that wants to build on defense and running the ball needs a quarterback with a big arm who can take advantage of the play-action opportunities deep. So, say hello to Mahomes, who in our redraft world is now the heir apparent to Bortles in Jacksonville instead of Alex Smith in Kansas City. Mahomes was the highest-rated quarterback last year in Football Outsiders' QBASE projections, and the success of Goff and Case Keenum in 2017 means less reticence about drafting a quarterback out of an air raid college system. 5. Tennessee Titans, CB Marshawn Lattimore Seifert. The Titans entered the draft with 2 first-round draft picks, along with clear needs at receiver and defensive back. They chose receiver Corey Davis at No. 5 and cornerback Adara Jackson at number 18. Davis proved to be a promising, if late developing, prospect. Jackson had a solid rookie year. But it's now clear that Lattimore is a special player, one who earned Pro Bowl honors and was one of the NFL's top cornerbacks by the end of the. In this version, the Titans get the best cover man in the draft at number 5 and then sift through the remaining receivers at number 18 or beyond, such as Juju Smith-Schuster or Cooper Kupp, who weren't drafted until the 2nd and 3rd rounds, respectively.